Hi, welcome to One Word a Day. I'm Sophie, your pilot into the universe of Chinese. We are going to continue in another year of this amazing ancient language that went through many versions of changes. So language got their own evolution. So this year, I'm going to start anew on a fresh plate, different look, and I hope you can see I kind of grade the background is kind of becoming minimalist, so to speak, so that we're focusing on the language itself, not so much busy background, things like that. And again, my slogan, language is the currency of thinking. So here I'm showing you Chinese, how that language makes meaning and how through that language, the characters we got preserved till today, that we can kind of see, have a little glimpse of how people in the past used to live. Okay, so Happy New Year, day 1, 2023. And 新年快乐 is how we say Happy New Year. We have, okay, it's a lot of characters to introduce, but okay, 新, we have this axing sign. So this is a piece of log, and this is the piece that got chopped off. So that was used to mean axed off, so logging things. And the left side, we have this wood symbol at the bottom. So chopping the wood, making sense, right? And then the top portion is ancient type of corporal punishment. So in ancient China, we used to have pretty bloody ways to punish people, so that whoever didn't commit crime yet got scared and make sure they don't endure that kind of pain. So this is pain inflicting device. We don't exactly know by today's like how that thing works, how that exactly works, but looks. So it's the whole structure put together means newly grown wood, something like that. Probably because it's a wood related and it's something cut off, so new things grow after that. We don't exactly know. But this is the icon for something new. Year. Okay, 年. You can see contemporary Chinese or simplified version of Chinese got even simpler, right? It's less strokes, straighter, less curvature. But originally it means somebody who is bending, holding like a shoulder or on the back is carrying the crops of this year. So this is a crop. You kind of see it's similar, right? It's plant. It basically is Chinese plant symbol, but got long stems. And then here on the top, this bendy part is the main signifier to mean it's a crop. It's a ripe thing. It's already heavy and the plant cannot hold it in place. It's kind of bending like that. So that means crop and somebody's holding it on the back. So this is a super simplification of a human figure, like kind of hunching over to hold the crop. So harvesting is the last thing you do in the whole cycle of a year, right? That's the year marker. It's almost like your finish line for the year as a farmer. Throughout all that farming activity in the year, in the end, you harvest your crop. So that's the year end marker. And then we have Kuai and Lu. So Kuai have this left side, the heart symbol, which is kind of a cavity with 3 tubes coming from it. I would imagine that's ancient understanding of how the heart works. We have an input tube, output tube, and then a power tube for the heart itself to run, right? I mean, it's pretty logical. And then here we have the 3-finger hand symbol, and we have the side view of the foot symbol. Probably foot on a footwear, like wearing some sort of ancient shoes. So contemporary shoes or sneakers or whatever, is formed, right? It's pretty complicated in manufacturing sense, right? It's formed by a special process material formed in a certain way. But ancient time, there's no such molding machine to put plastic together or rubber, right, in to make it a certain shape to fit your feet. So ancient times of footwear, picture what Japanese contemporarily still wear in certain ceremony, the kind of a wooden slipper, so open toe, and also have a kind of sticking out on the ground, so your foot doesn't touch the ground itself. So you're wearing on top of, you're stepping on top of something, not the ground directly. So this is foot, this is a hand. With a hand and foot and heart, how is just pleased? I mean, isn't English has a song like if you're happy, you clap your clap, and if you're happy, you're stomping your feet or something like that. So hand and feet are the end of our limbs that we that they are expressive of our probably internal emotions as well. That if you can touch it, or if you can walk it, physically active, most likely you're happy, you're in a good, like, active state of being, right? And then the left side, the heart, simply is just like English use heart as a symbol for internal, especially emotional processing. So it's a state of mind or mood, which is you stay active, so it's kind of happy that way. And then the right, the lu came from the music making in the ancient times. So again, this reoccurring wood symbol used here, and sort of like here, transformed. And this wood symbol means the wood frame that an ancient drum set. You can see these are the drum sets. Placed in a certain way, arranged in different pitches, in different locations, and then I guess performed in a pretty elaborate way to make music. So drumming is probably most direct music making process because it gives beats. And when it's drumming, it's most likely a happy situation. So instead of like a string instrument, imagine if like cello or violin, which can go pretty melancholic, right? It's kind of plugging onto your heart, playing the string of heart, right? So that's in English expression. But if it's drumming, it's a lot of times it's your pulse. It's placing not on your heart, but on your pulse. So it's in that way, it's more impulsive music making that go directly, like go even under the layer of that. It's more probably ancient merrymaking event, and drumming simply make joy, like a drum music making and a joy making are highly correlated. So that's why this music drum set was used to express the joy concept. I feel this is very wise and relatable. So that's our whole 新年快乐. Okay, that's not the main thing we're talking about. 步步为营 is today's main phrase. And luckily we have a repetition here. So step, we can see here is our foot symbol, kind of cactus looking, kind of like this. And 3 upward pointing lines, that's 3 abstracted toes on the foot. And so this is kind of the arch of the foot. And here, the bottom, you can see it's kind of a reverse of that symbol, right? So the cactus here is kind of showing this way. This one kind of showing this way, right? And it's the opposing side. So we can kind of see it's kind of a right foot, left foot, it's kind of stepping on this left foot, right foot symbol. So that's exactly what that is. It's a footstep. And here it's not moving yet. It's somebody who is standing still, but it's showing the footsteps on here. And exactly, that means step. Okay, way, we have, way, I use a made. In English, make is kind of a generic term, just like do, right? There's no exact specification of what exactly you do or what exactly you make. So these are more generic verbal terms describing a sort of action. So here I use made to mean a similar concept here, because this way, contemporary, super easy. Traditional, try that. I don't think I can even write that out without an error to like memorize all the strokes, the locations. It's pretty complicated 2D structure, right? But we can unpack it and dissect it a little bit. So we have this 3-finger hand symbol, kind of this on the top of it. That means basically like you're handling something. And also kind of a lightly handed, not heavy-handed. This is 5 fingers heavy-handed. 3-finger is neutral-handed, and this is kind of lightly handed. And then this sign is, and also this weird looking shape. It's probably the ancient plow device. So the whole activity is about plowing. The 5 vertical lines are the result of the plowing. So after you plow through the soil, you're going to see the ridges. You're going to set the soil ready for farming, for planting seed or whatever for the new season, right? So this is the first step in your farming activity. So this is the plowing activity. And that plowing as the beginner of the whole farming season, and I would imagine as an important step for kind of setting the tone for the whole year, right? Was eventually used as a generic term to mean it's achieving something or make something or build something is the foundation of things they are going to make, something like that. So 步步为, this way then just means like you use that as a generic make, because there's no specifications of what exactly you're making, even if it came from a plowing agriculture activity. It's extracted from that activity, used in our language to describing a generic making things. Okay, 营, we have, it's an interesting word because at the beginning, without checking, I feel like, what? There are 2 fires out there. Normally in the language, 1 fire is already pretty heated, because fire symbol, which is this kind of pointy shape with 2 vertical lines on each side, that's our like a visual depiction of the fire. If it's 2 of them, that already means like that's a lot. Is this like something set on fire, something like that? But no, this actually, if this is 2 of them, that actually means far away. Imagine the city light. You look at far away, you see multiple lights, light source, sparkling, right? Spreading out in different locations of the town. And that's kind of the sense depicted here. These are not big fires. These are small sparkles, like little light sources, kind of far away as well. Why we know it's far away is this arch thing. That means a big space, piece of land, or some space, some sort of space. And over that space, you see light sources like that. And inside is a baby picture. So this kind of like a baby in a bundle shape. The big head, and then the body, tiny, connected by a neck, something like that. So baby probably means security. Some like a family, right? Family, household, within this space, enclosure, not fully enclosure, but enclosed, protected space with fires or light sources sparkling around. That's the sense of city dwellers back then. I guess back then, farming, like people who live on the farm are spread out, like everybody kind of, they may have villages or things like that. But people who are city dwellers, they live within a kind of enclosed space with walls, with gates, right? You cannot easily get into the city unless you have a pass or something like that, right? So it's gated. And also the city lights over there. I mean, it's not like contemporary electricity powered city lights, but it's probably ancient time after darkness. Cities, within cities, there are not exactly street light. Probably it was pretty dark, but occasionally some places they may strategically place some light sources for people to see. But as far as I know, ancient times, the people are not encouraged to go outdoor after dark. So only the night walkers, people who kind of patrol the streets and give you time, keepers, right, are allowed to go around the city after dark. So households will stay within, but that whole structure depicts this space kind of with the enclosure, with security, with a baby in it, families around, and then, I mean, it could be baby, it could be multiple people connected, kind of a unity of mouse means population, so a certain population within that enclosed and with some light sources sparkling far away. This whole image depicts this city dwelling, and I use it as a barrack because eventually that was used kind of like, okay, it's not a regular city. It's a city in a wartime that got a certain population, got a certain guard structure, got light source to have a group of people, probably armed force. So inside is no longer a baby, it's armed force. And that was used eventually to mean the barrack is more like wartime group of people structure. Okay, 步步为营 simply means somebody who is going to take each step solid and make each step as if it's a barrack, like it's very defensible. You can, if something, when you take a further step, if something happens, you can always retreat to your original, the previous step, because each step you set it as your barrack. That came from an ancient, I guess, wartime strategy, even if this is not a 36 stratagem, but it does come from wartime, that one party, when they are going to attack a kind of far away enemy, along the way, like within a certain distance, they are going to station some force over there. Each step, they will have some station over there, barrack over there. So in case anything in the front happens, not far away, there are always reinforcement forces coming to help. So that way they can reach far and safely, make sure they have supply. I guess this is whole supply chain as well. They're connected, informed, and so that they can reach far away enemy land, but don't feel like a cut off away from the home base, because each step of the way they set up their reinforced forces or group of people over there, just in case anything happened in the next step. So that's 步步为营. And in contemporary life, we can view it as you take things slow and go steadily. So each step is a firmly developed or build step, so that you can go to the next step in a reasonably short time, but firm, because you already have a good foundation in the previous step. And in case anything bad happened, you can always go to the previous one. So in that way, it's kind of cautiously moving, like tracking, build a way out, like taking down a path, but a very safe path, because you spend the time to build in each step, and that way you can go far without failing too badly, right? Okay, cash into the currency of thinking by one word a day with Sophie. See you another day.